Catch a throat fall from the fire vocal with ash and molten glass like ewannagain. The volcano out of Iceland conquer and destroy the rap world like the white men. Learned from a pro as a mentor, started with a bird nest and burnt him to a cinder. How to get the party kicking, plus a little charred body smelting like chicken. As the dollar continues to lose momentum, he need land for murder Indians to represent him. Gold is up, urging all thugs, trading your chains for cash and spurge it on drugs. A more secure investment, food and water, a couple of gallons for your cutest daughter. And thank him as a Yankee fellow southerner. Don't forget the general rank. Hello, governor! That was, well, we've been over that 100 times. The old, Do Melee. The last album he made before he clocked off, before he kicked the bucket, knocked his clogs. Is that a term for dying? I think there's a term for dying that involves clogs in some way. Pop your clogs. I think that's it. Pop your clogs. Pop your clogs. Google. Pop your fucking clogs. Do. Pop your clogs. Die. That's really funny. You go to Google dictionary. Pop one's clogs. Die. That's the meaning it gives. It says informal British. That's fair. It's an informal British term for die. It really, it's to die, isn't it? To pop one's clogs is to die. That just sounds like it's saying die. I'm going to see that in my sleep now. Just the word die. And I'll scream, and then the wind will blow the trees out of the way to reveal a T on the end, and it'll say diet, and I'll scream even louder. Oh no! That was on The Simpsons. There's something I only noticed literally in the last couple of weeks of listening to the song Governor again. Because I listen to MF Doom all the time, because I love him so much, which is why I'm drawing him today. And I realised, as he says the term Ayafyala Yoku in the song, there's a voice behind it, which, MF Doom samples a whole load of shit in his music. So I thought it was just a sample of someone saying something that sounds like Ayafyala Yoku, or maybe they were saying Ayafyala Yoku and he put the sample in just underneath him saying it. And I realised what it sounds like is like a text to speech person, like where you type in the word and then a computer says Ayafyala Yoku, and so it's got like a pronunciation thing underneath him saying it, which doesn't really mean anything. It's just like, oh, okay, well why wouldn't you put that in the thing? It's just something I noticed, and I thought, oh, that's a neat detail. I guess that's neat. Is it neat? I don't fucking know or care. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. I did look up a couple of pronunciation guides for that word, which is really just videos of people saying the word. And it's not quite... MF Doom had it wrong in the song. It's not Ayafyala Yoku, as I believe he pronounced it on the track. And it's not quite Ayafyala Yoku as I, out of my stupid brain, assumed it would be pronounced. It's more like Ayafyala Yoku or something. It's more or less Ayafyala Yoku. If it was said by a British person but pronounced more or less correctly, it would be Ayafyala Yoku. But it just sounds more Icelandic, which, given that it's a fucking Icelandic name for a fucking Icelandic mountain volcano, it makes sense that it sounds more Icelandic. Oh, we do like some penis here on this show, don't we, eh? Oh, we all love a good bit of penis, eh? Eh? Yeah, oh, I love a nice bit of dick. Nice fat cock. in my mouth on a regular basis. Balls slapping against my chin. Wet slapping balls on my chin. Oh god. I love MF Doom so much. I go through periods of like periods. Well, I listen to Doom all the fucking time. Most often, if I listen to music, it's like when I'm out and about, either out on my nice little afternoon, mental health, physical exercise walks, or to and from the post office, or doing my daily business, whatever it is. When I'm out and about, put my headphones on, listen to some music. More often than not, it's like an MF Doom playlist, or at least some MF Doom on there. But every now and again I find myself sort of skipping more and more tracks just to listen to the tracks I really, really like, as opposed to the tracks I just kind of like. And so then I might change my playlist up and listen to a whole bunch of stuff. Usually hip hop, various forms of hip hop, gangster rap music and the like. And then, so I might not listen to any MF Doom for quite a little while. Whatever. Then I'll listen to just one MF Doom track. Or I might just overhear part of an MF Doom track and go, ugh, why don't I listen to more MF Doom? And then my playlist would just be back to tons and tons and tons of Do Melee. Eat it up, microphone, microwave, mayonnaise. That's from the song Microwave Mayonnaise. What's the word, the line leading up to that? So Do Melee, eat it up, microphone, microwave, mayonnaise. Microwave mayonnaise. I can't spell mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Lyrics. Oh god, it's all in one long paragraph. Alright, well, let's just go through the whole thing. Chain smoking beaties till his brain's broken completely. Get back on his feet, work out and eat some Wheaties. Greedy for the cheese, please, most couldn't fathom. Had him in a cobra clutch when he spat the mad hymns gem. No, I'm not going to do that. Do Melees. Oh, see, this happens often. I don't know if you have the same thing, where you know a song's lyrics, or you roughly know a song's lyrics, and you look up the lyrics, and they're just written in a way that you just cannot fathom, to use the word that I just sung in the song. That you can't believe that the lyrics you're reading are correct, because his surname, the guy who was MF Doom, his actual real life surname is Dumoulin, which is Dumile, which is like spelt like Dumile, but it's pronounced Dumoulin. And he uses that he says that in a few of his songs. Pretenders lay in daisies on stages. But then in here it's saying doom malaise, a malaise being like a weird state of mind or something. Some malaise, like a brain fog or something, isn't it? A general feeling of discomfort, illness or unease, whose exact cause is difficult to identify. Yeah, like a feeling of unease. Doom malaise. I guess it could be, but I always thought it was do melee. Eat it up, microphone, microwave, mayonnaise. His own way was strange, but it matters not. Tuned into a frequency tone that shattered rock. Hold it down like Shatner do Spock. Rapper jocks need to put a sock in they chatterbox. The block got lied, the Viac stock. Folks gather round, it's no joke, like knock knock. It's them. They came home to roost, y'all. Watch them transform the game to the rules of foosball. Etc. Now you might be wondering... you might not. I was going to say you might be wondering why is he drawing MF Doom, but then it's like, why isn't you drawing MF Doom literally all the time? You'd think I'd draw MF Doom a lot more, considering I'm stupid in love with the guy. Stupid dead bastard that he is. He's not alive anymore. What an idiot. Or actually, smarter than the rest of us. Clocked out early. He had fucking sense to get out of it all. That's not why we're here. We're here to praise him. Praise be to Dume Lee. I don't know what I'm fucking doing or saying. Do I ever? Well, sometimes. Right. So, when is this going to air? When does my show go onto the telly? Right. So yeah, by the time this airs, there'll be a couple of weeks until the Illustrated World Series. That drawing contest I sometimes don't ever win. Taking part again this year, this summer, against my better judgment, I guess. My better judgment says, just don't bother. You're not going to win. Why would you even bother entering? But I've gone over all of that already. We're not going to. That's not. Well, we're not here to discuss the finer details of exactly why I've decided to participate. We're here because I felt it sort of necessary to get in some practice. Just inking and colouring some bold illustrative images. And oh god, I'm boring myself talking about it. Hey everyone, come and be really interested in what I'm doing, even though I have zero interest in any of it apparently. I don't have zero interest in it, I have some interest. I have some, not a lot, but some interest in it. Fuck me. Okay, so right. I was going to get practice. My plan was to put a challenge up on my story on Instagram saying I'm going to be competing in the Illustrated World Series, so send me some make up your own funny news headlines and send them to me, to people. Just come up with your own funny headlines, send them to me, and I'll pick some and then illustrate them for practice, which would make sense. It should probably make more sense than just drawing MF Doom again, but I couldn't be fucked to do that. And then as I was going to the post office this morning, which I got to and then found out it was closed because of fucking computer problems again for the second time in as many weeks. Thank you very much, the post office. I was listening to some MF Doom, of course, and I was thinking about recording my podcast, and I thought I've been meaning to do a somewhat sort of Doom-centered podcast anyway. Another one, and I thought, why don't I just, if I can work it all into one thing. Sorry, so I needed to get some practice in for the Illustrated World Series. I also, because in a week I'm going to be, from recording, I'm going to be staying at my friend Sam's, and so I do want to have some kind of content ready to post while I'm there. So while I'm there, I don't have to be drawing and painting and because it's not going to be. I'm not really going to be able to do that because it's going to be too busy blowing my friend Sam, or just playing video games and shit. But so I thought I could do the practicing of World Illustrated Series drawings, do little videos of them all, and then the week I'm at Sam's, have those on my phone ready to post as reels on Instagram. Because I try to keep the content flowing even if I'm not there in person. I'm so scattered at the moment. Sorry, but that's really probably not too far removed from how I normally am. Fucking hell. I think you see where this is going. It's really not that deep, is it? So I thought I'd do some Doom pictures instead of the headlines suggested by other people, and then make videos of them, and then I'll have stuff to post while I'm away. And that's it. That's what it amounts to. I'm not on top of my word and language game today. Apparently, it's not. I thought I was doing okay. I was like in my kitchen having a little song and dance, feeling like ready to record the podcast. Let's fucking go. He's on it like a car bonnet. But now I'm actually doing it. I got fucking nothing. Oh no, that happens a lot. I go to press it down to get some more ink out, and then too much ink comes out, and now fucking mess I'm left with. Oh, I'll sop some of it up with my filthy paint rag t-shirt thing. See, this has happened before in a contest as well, and I've gone, oh no, what am I going to do? But when they, they take your details for the contest so they can, write like a little bio about you or whatever. So they say, what's your name, where you're from, what country are you representing? Which I know, I don't like the idea of like representing a country. I even said as much, I think it was last year maybe when I competed, and we did like a little video interview. And they say, say who you are and, what country you're representing. But I said in the interview, I represent England, I guess. But really, I just live here. I don't really feel that I represent England, I'm not like doing this for my country. Yeah, let's go England. Let's fucking go. Like, I have no patriotism. England is the patch of dirt I was born on. And that's how much England means to me. I don't give a shit about the place. It's fucking stupid. Stupid place full of idiots. And I'll leave as soon as I stop being a lazy cunt and actually get up and get out. I don't know where that was going. I thought I had a reason for saying that shit, but apparently I don't. This is going a lot quicker than I expected it to. I thought, like, cool, I'd drag this out, do like the pinks in the beginning, and then, the outlines in the second half, and then towards the end, and then we'll finish off and have a nice image to look at for the thing. I don't know how much information I'm supposed to say about the contest, but there's at least one or two people taking part this year that I'm really surprised to see, and a little bit intimidated by, dare I say, which doesn't happen often. I don't get intimidated by other artists too often because, I'm basically the best one. But yeah, there's at least one person I'm quite intimidated by, and then one other person I think, I'm sort of like, ooh. But really, it's just because they're a bit of a bigger artist than I sort of expected to see taking part. So to see their name on the roster, I'm a bit like, ooh, gosh. But then in one way, I'm like, oh, what if I go against them and then they're better than me? Which, come on. But also, what if I go against them and then I beat them? And then, it just proves that actually, yeah, I am the fucking best. I'm better than everyone. I'll beat the fuck out of everybody. They made us. We had video chat with the organizer, Mark, and, he got us to do a similar sort of interview. He recorded a little bit of the call of me answering some questions. I'm Ewan, and I do. Oh, I have remembered why I was saying that before. I'll get back to that. And then this time, I couldn't think of anything to say. He wanted to say, he wanted us to say, or me, or whatever, to say who I am, why I'm returning to compete again, and also why I think I'll win, or something like that. So I couldn't really think of much to say, and I said, will I win? I don't know. I mean... But then I switched it up and I was like, oh, do you know what? Of course I'll win because I'm the fucking best, because I'm better than everyone. I'm the best fucking artist this place. I didn't swear because, There were issues before last year when I talked about killing women in the little video interview, and they played it because they take these little videos and they play them during the contest while it's streaming online. While, so for instance, me, while I'm competing, they go, oh, and here's a couple of words from Ewan about his process or his style, or fucking whatever. And then I go, rah, 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 I kill women for fun. So that happened. They played the thing, and I said that during the thing that they played. And then apparently they got notice from... so I'm just looking for another... they got notice from the sponsors of the contest saying they have to, I guess, not play that again and or edit it completely. Otherwise they will pull out of sponsoring the streamed contest, because they don't want to be associated with a contest that has a participant that talks about killing women. Which I think is a story I've told before on here, but I just thought it was funny. It bears repeating because it is humorous. And just, of course, it's me that happens with. I don't have a problem with any of the other participants. It's just silly old Ewan talking about silly old killing silly women. And I almost lost the competition, its sponsorship. It's quite funny, really. But, yeah. Like I say, I'll be on my best behaviour this time, I guess. My boringest behaviour. So the reason I brought up the video interview before I realised was because one of the questions they had gotten us to answer previously was, they say, like, what's your name, where are you from, what's your style? They say this here, what's your illustrative style? And, some people it's like graphic, comic book, graffiti, I don't know, silly, smelly dildo shit, whatever. Different illustration styles and where they could do. How about you? And when I was first asked this when I first competed, I think, and I just literally couldn't think of what to say. So I just said grimy, because I was like, it kind of is that, isn't it? It's just a bit horrible, a bit yucky and grimy here and there, a bit filthy, bit dirty. That's how we like it, innit? And that's sort of just stuck, I guess. And now I just go with that. I figure, that's good enough. So yeah, grimy. What's your illustration style? Grimy illustration style. Which I don't know if that counts as an actual illustration style. But I feel like it fits. It fits the vibe I want to give off, if not the vibe I do give off. Now I can't remember why I was going to bring that up in the first place, but maybe I'll remember in a little bit, eh? Back again! In the house again! Wait, I like that song. Let me find it. Well, I don't know if I like... That song holds a weird place in my head, because I had it in my headphones as I was painting graffiti when I was like 17, when I got arrested and spent a night in a cell, which was the first time that had ever happened. I'll get my pills out of the way. And now whenever I hear this song, it really gives me deep feelings of like being trapped.
Ladies and gentlemen, front, left, right, back again. Who is it? Violated people in the house again. It's the people, back again for the very fourth time.
Don't worry if I write checks, I write rhymes. Back again. In the house again. It's the people back again. That's Dilated Peoples, which is quite a cool name Like dilated pupils, dilated peoples. Yeah, you get fucking. You know. But yeah, whenever I hear that, I just sort of. It gets me in the feels of like, oh fuck. I got fucking locked away in a box for an entire night. And then got given the worst fucking like scalding molten hot cheesy beans in a little plastic pot in the morning. They're like, do you want some beans? And I was like, okay, I guess. I haven't eaten, so sure. And they come back a couple of minutes later with the hottest thing I've ever held and put to my mouth. Like beans with, like, I guess cheese on it or in it. And it just, I don't know, it tasted like burned. I think I ate like one. I think I let it cool for a bit and got like one sporkful. Like they give you a little plastic spork. Before they said, oh, it's time for your interview, come on now. I had my interview and then I waited for a bit longer and then I went, anyway, all I was saying was, back again, in the house again. See that song, but it's by Dilated Peoples. It always, see, I was playing it on my, the Amazing School and Ahead and Other Curious Objects, Mike Mignola, all mostly, well, some previously unpublished stuff. All of this book was previously unseen by myself. It was all like chess pieces outside the house, and the birds and shit. I like the fly in the photo frame. That's cool. I love these little quiet scenes, man. There was a very recent Instagram post by Ashley Wood where he said how back in the day when he was drawing comic books, he always wanted to do like, you know, the 90s Image Comics, big explosive action scenes, splash panels, fucking action. But nowadays he's more interested in doing like the calm, serene, thoughtful moments between moments where it's just like scenes and like people walking, you know, around places, just quiet, sort of subdued, serene scenes. And I appreciate all of that. And have done for quite some time. I think university was sort of around that time where I started to appreciate, you know, panels that are literally just black, just space, just showing space and time and not focusing on large explosive actions and stuff. And Mignola's a master of that. These like contemplative, thoughtful, quiet scenes with these, you know, buildings and things with a lot of texture. The posters on walls, barrels and stones and stuff, little holes, cracks and things. They're really, really nice. I like them a lot. I was speaking to a friend recently about, she was asking, you know, sort of why I don't like architecture, because I think I'd mentioned I fucking hate drawing buildings, it's a bunch of shit. And I said, you know, they're just boring and having to draw 1,000 windows is just dull as fuck. But then you see stuff like this is the kind of architecture I like looking at anyway. One of the few good things I can say about Winchester, where I used to live, is there's a lot of like old buildings like this. A few corners you can like go in, like looking down alleys and things where they have buildings that look like this, where they are like skew-if and disjointed, and they've got beams like curving under the weight of, you know, all the bricks and stuff on top of them. And I really, really like that. It's a really nice feeling, especially, or it's really nice looking and feeling sort of, you know, look at architecture as opposed to the modern steel and glass you see everywhere. Fucking bullshit. So I get inspired by this kind of architecture more so than architecture as a whole. For whatever that's worth. But it just looks interesting, doesn't it? It's just a bit nicer. And like Kowloon, the walled city, I found out about that a good few years ago. Again, at university, I think. That sort of stuff's insane. And that, you know, gives me reminders of Rokokudai Heights from Jet Set Radio Future. Look all these places up, where it's literally just little box buildings stacked on top of each other, either, you know, all hickledy-pickledy all over the place. And that sort of stuff is really, you know, like Japanese slum sort of vibe. That's very interesting. Lots and lots of cables and rubbish and paper and torn posters on the walls and, you know, air conditioning units fucking stapled to walls and plaster falling off, shutters and tin roofs and things. All that shit, this shit. Beetles and all kinds of fucking weird shit going on. Whoa, oh, fucking weird. These are all just cool pieces. I don't know if they were for or from anything, but they're all very, very cool. Just little bits of stuff, little demons and ghosts and ghouls and things. Very Mignola, isn't it? Part 4, the great unpublished curiosity. Axor, Slayer of Demons. Oh, I could make that as a Skyrim character, I think. That'd be fun. Give him silver gauntlets and some, I don't know, leather armour. A sword, a bold head. An octopus friend. That's missing from Skyrim. Octopuses. I guess they got netches, which are somewhat squid-like. Fairly Lovecraftian, I guess. But also, I guess netches are from Morrowind or whatever. I don't know. I haven't really played much of the Elder Scrolls, or I've not played any of the Elder Scrolls prior to Skyrim. I tried playing some Morrowind and a little tiny bit of Oblivion, but for me, I always prefer third-person camera, like being able to see my character. I use first-person for shooting and stuff, but I prefer, in general, third-person, especially for melee combat. And the characters and movement in the older Elder Scrolls game is just too stiff. The characters are so stiff when they move around, and it just is so awkward feeling and janky, and I just couldn't get on with it in the same way I can Skyrim. They really did something with Skyrim, and it's only going to get better, I'm sure. So this is completely unpublished. From what I understand, from what I read towards the back, this is, I guess, the first half of an unpublished comic, and he never made any more of it. And it's got fingerprints all over it because I'm filthy. Grimy, there you go. It fits with, see, grime and dirt and shit. Lizards and contemplative building with fucking fish on them and shit, and fish in the sea. It's all part of one another. Lots of underwater motifs in this one. A giant bat, that's cool. And I love that he can put a comic together made up largely of just panels of just stuff, just, you know, pictures of fish and shells and shit. Fish and Jesus on the cross, coral and fucking a crab, a nun, Jesus on the cross, the fish and the fish. See, this, it's all part of the scene. It's building the scene out of all these little bits and little moments. Nuns, the silhouettes of the nuns here in this light, and the priest and a guy who here almost looks like he's wearing a gas mask, but then I guess it's like a beard. And you can see, even from the comic having no like real lettering as such, barring this sort of stuff, he's obviously some sort of feral fucking hermit, some weirdo with a fish necklace. And the whole fish underwater vibe does come into play. Oh, there's more nuns there. That's cool. I love they're basically like, I don't know, the most raw, basic image you could have for nun. The shape, the basic shape of the robe with the white headdress and a crucifix. Shells and shit. The priest is performing an exorcism on the weird guy. Rah! The hat's cool, like exorcism hand. The power of Christ compels you. Ah! Oh, what's going on? Something coming out of his mouth. A fucking tentacle coming out of his mouth. He exorcised a giant octopus out of this guy. What the fuck's going on? That's pretty fucking cool in itself. Really, honestly. Let's be honestly. They've dropped the crucifixes, and the priest's like, oh shit, I'm out of here. I'm off. Scarpa. Bursts out of the church or the chapel or whatever. The priest gets fucked. Gets tentacle fucked. He gets hentai tentacle rape fucked. And the octopus flies away. Obviously, as you would if you were a giant octopus. Oh, he's still got hold of the priest with his tentacle fishes and shit. Other buildings, tentacles, flying octopus flying towards the city. Oh no, what's he gonna do? He's flying over the church. That reminds me of like an Akira. I swear there's a similar sound effect like that during part of the film. maybe. Oh, it might happen a few times in the film, where it's just sort of like a chorus of like almost a hum of like. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, as all the shit's going down. Oh, he's dropped the fucking guy. Thud on the ground. I think we can assume, were this finished and coloured, this would be like greys and browns of the city walls, and the priest would be in, you know, his whatever dull priest robes, and then this bit here would just be stark red of the blood pouring out of his head as he got cracked onto the ground, which would look really, really cool. Maybe I'll paint this. Oh, if I trace some of this and paint it, or all of it, fuck that, yeah. Trace it all, paint it as I would. I don't know if mine and Mignola's styles would work too well together though. I'm sure I can make it work. You know, I'm pretty fucking good. I'm sure I can make it. The octopus in the sky, a man in a prison. He's got a beard and he's naked. Oh shit, the priest's dead on the floor. Some shit's coming out his mouth. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Some other priests showing up. They got like a sword. This old man in the clink, literally in the clink. They're talking. Oh, let's do the thing. We're gonna do the thing. Oh, don't do the thing. We're gonna do the thing. They did the thing. So I read a little bit about it. So this old man, they give him back his sword, and then he turns into Axor, the Slayer of Demons. See, so this shit's going down. This giant octopus demon has shown up, and they're like, "Fuck, we need to fucking get the guy." So they go. They've got Axor locked up as the old man, and they go, "Right, just this one last time. You're back at it. Here's your sword." And they give him his sword. And he turns into Axor. Oh, here. So I guess they're saying, you were once this guy. You need to be this guy again. Remember the queen and the snake and the something. Oh, I know. Remember the wolf, the crown, the ewe. I love like the hunched, doomed, gloomy old man with the sunken eyes with in shadow, big bulbous nose. Shadows and light, so fucking good, man. Just some dead shit there, some corpse. Please, you must. I don't want to, but fine. Here is thine sword. Axor, fighter of demons, slayer of beasts, savior of us all. Axor, slayer of demons, kills your whore of a mother-in-law. Hack choke. Boom, boom, boom. He bursts forth from his jail cell, ready to slay the giant demon octopus. Fuck you, octopus. Swok cuts a limb off, and the octopus is grappling him. And there's another old man. I don't know who the fuck this is now. And a wolf. I think one of them's a werewolf, and then they didn't know before. I don't know what's going on. Oh wait, is that? Okay, no, that's what it is. There's an old guy. He's someone. They give the sword to the corpse. The corpse is the corpse of Axor. So this is Axor. His gloved hand reaches up for the sword, and he gets up, and now he's actually, you can see the rope holding his armor on, and the gloves and the rags, and so that's then the old man. This old man who's in the prison, he turns out to be a fucking werewolf, and so something with him. I don't know. Oh, so then they stabbed the werewolf, I guess with silver or whatever, and it stopped him being a werewolf, and the spear is still in him. Then the spear comes out and he turns back into a werewolf. And the priests piss off, run away out the door, because they know what's going to happen. Axor fighting the giant topus. Fish, Jesus, a werewolf. Fish, Jesus, a werewolf. Fish, Jesus, a werewolf. Fish, Jesus, a werewolf. Slicing off more tentacles, grappling with the fucking octopus. He's lifted him up, his tentacles coming off, and he's all like, oh, fuck, what a fuck. Werewolf sitting, very contemplative werewolf, sitting in thought. And that's as far as he got. Fuck. Man. Designed for Axel. I like his funny hat. And he's got a hammer there, that's quite cool. Like the hammer of Thor. Mjolnir, as it's called. And yeah, so he says a few words about the different bits of this book, which is quite cool, little bits of information. And sketchbook. It's always cool to see artists' sketchbooks. I'd love to see an entire book like this just of Mignola's sketchbooks. It'd be really, really cool. There's a few in like the Hellboy books and some of the other stuff, pages towards the back just like this of certain sketches, but I'd love to see like whole books where it's just sketches of stuff, not necessarily relating directly to Hellboy or this or that. Just sketches of things would be really cool to see. And I mean, this is almost some of that, isn't it? Where it's designing the Martian aliens, more Mars stuff. Just rockets and shit. I love the little squiddy boys. Little squiddies and aliens and bug boy Martians and things. Technology. You don't see a great deal of that in Mignola's comics. You see some here and there. Usually in like the den of a crazed mad scientist or something. But yeah, it's cool to see. Because a lot of Mignola's work is very organic feeling, even his buildings and stuff, where they feel like growing and living and dying, like they're old and falling apart and stuff. And a lot of his work feels like that in general. And so I think when you see him drawing technology, it does feel a little bit not out of place, but it certainly does to me stand out because it's a very different vibe from most of his stuff. Like even Hellboy's Power Fist is stone, and it's sort of a natural stone that's grown on his arm. It's not like some fucking techno Power Fist or whatever. Angels and shit, Christianity. What a farce that all was. I tell you. But that's really, really good. I really fucking like that book. I'll be looking at that one at least one other time before I forget about it. I guess I recommend it. I don't know, if you're going to buy it, you're going to buy it. So, I think I even confused myself with trying to describe what the hell it is I'm actually doing or planning on doing. In essence, I'll be doing a series of, I think, 7 or 8 of these Doom drawings in the single colour and black and white style of the IWS illustration tournament as practice for the IWS illustration tournament. And videoing each of them, so I've got content to post while I'm away. But they will also serve as, like I say, practice. A little bit of practice in a way, because, it's a very specific way of drawing for that contest. I probably should practice with more, similar to the contest subject matter, like odd headlines and things, because this is just drawing stuff I want to draw, i.e. MF Doom. But you know, fuck it. That's what I feel like drawing, so that's what I'm going to draw. But even so, it is, you know, quite a specific way of producing images in a short space of time. One colour. And that's where I hope I gain points in the contest, is because you do get awarded points for like your style and approach to creating the image. And not all, but certainly I believe most people who participate in the contest start with a pencil drawing. They have a pencil and they like loosely map out what they're going to be drawing, and then they start inking, colouring and whatever. And I tend to favour just a pink biro or ballpoint pen if you're not accustomed to the term. I think biro is a very English term because I think that's the name of the guy who invented the ballpoint pen. I don't know if the word biro is really used outside of the UK. I don't think that's the case anyway. I don't know. Shut up. Pink biro, very, very quick, loose lines just to map out the basic areas of the piece. Colour in the pink, all in one go, just chunks, big chunks of pink, and then go in with the black and fill in all the details, and then usually Tipp-Ex or something just to, you know, white out any areas I feel need to be white. I'm okay having a couple of little pink scribbles here and there, but if I have sort of put a line incorrectly in a couple of places, then yeah, I'll white out those areas. I'm happy to do that. And you know, little blobs and things, again, just adding the texture and grime as I go for. Like this shit, whatever. Like I give a fuck. And that's my approach to image creation. But it is, you know, you're not in a position where you can take your time and figure it out. You've got to do all the figuring out before the contest, and then during the contest you have to just get the piece done. It's in your best interests to know exactly what you're doing, which sometimes works out, sometimes it doesn't. I can tell you that much. But it's worth getting in at least a tiny little bit of practice. And it's also, you know, good to have content to post, and especially reels. Oh, have I talked about how my Fleshbob reel fucking blew up? I believe that's what you call going viral. I think that's literally what happened. So a new thing Instagram does, has been doing it a little while, but you know, I noticed it fairly recently, is if you're scrolling through stories, every now and again it will pop in, you know, like they do with adverts, but it will say like from Instagram saying, oh, if you've made a post with pictures that you can swipe through, why not turn that into a reel? And it takes those images and puts them into a reel with like some random current popular music. And it did that, but of my Fleshbob drawings, where it's Fleshbob from behind, and then he gradually gets closer and closer and turns around, and then he's eating intestines, and it says, eat the flesh of the living. And I thought it was kind of hilarious because Instagram, the eat the flesh of the living part is drawn in the picture. It's not like text that, you know, Instagram's AI could read or something. So Instagram was promoting me making this reel out of these drawings, promoting cannibalism. And I thought that was very, very funny. So I said, do you know what? Let's do it. I kept the weird, dumb, popular song that they chose. And I uploaded it as a reel because I just thought it was quite funny. Little did I realise, I think because I had done that under Instagram's guidance, and also Instagram chose like a current popular song, those elements came together and made that reel get shared a lot more than it normally does. It has currently well over 400,000 views. Normally, the most mine get is like maybe 10 to 20,000 at most. Sometimes like 5 to 10,000. And then like there was an Earthworm Jim one that got up to like 60, 70,000, which I was like, fuck, this is getting like a lot of people like this Earthworm Jim thing. But then this fucking Fleshbob one, well over, getting towards 500,000 views, and like well over 50,000 likes, a shitload of comments, and I believe that would be considered going viral in that respect. And it brought in quite a substantial amount of new followers, which is good, obviously, I guess, for various reasons. However, I have noted what I consider to be one of the downsides of going viral, which is it makes your content, your art or whatever, visible to a lot of people who normally wouldn't see it. And a lot of those people aren't necessarily artistically inclined or part of the art world or whatever. So where people who like my work will see it and go, ha ha ha, that's funny, little Fleshbob and his penis and eat the flesh of the living. So many people leaving comments going, is his penis out? Oh my god, is that a penis? Why is his penis out? Oh my god, sort yourself out. Why is his penis so weird? Why is his penis out? I can't believe he got his penis out. Is that a penis? Oh my god, why is it a penis? And it's just like, really? I've looked at some of the people, and some of them are literal children, and it's like, you shouldn't be on Instagram, let alone looking at my page of all pages. But some of them, it's just like, yeah, I drew a penis on a funny little guy. Shut up. And I want to tell people, just fucking shut up. A couple of people even commenting like, this is garbage, this is trash content. I block those cunts because fuck you. I mean, it's not like they were going to follow me and keep an eye on my content, but just, for the sake of it, just block them just in case. Fuck them. I think that's just about done. I mean, that's not really much more I can do to it, is there? Blighty, that's a slang term for England, Britain, or fucking whatever. See, because the album Key to the Cuffs, or maybe I'll write that on there. Key to the Cuffs. That was recorded in merry old England, in London, where he spent the last few years of his life. And there's a lot of, the track, the eponymous track, which isn't really eponymous, but whatever. Track Hello Governor, which is the first sort of single to come out. That's very British, isn't it? And a lot of the albums are like, the songs on the album are relating to sort of England and English things and have English people sampled in the background. So it is a very sort of like England central or England orbiting album. So I put him in a flat cap, in a Blighty t-shirt, holding a little teacup with his pinky out, little teacup and saucer, having a little cup of tea in merry old England. There's the tea bag, fucking. Let's just put a capital T just to show that it's T, because it's tea. And so yeah, he said hello Governor. He's got the flat cap like British farmers and fans of that TV show watch, whatever, Peaky Blinders. He's British. He's a British Doom. British Doom. I couldn't think of like a good funny slang term. Just British Doom. That's it. That'll do. Let's get some more texture in there. Yeah. So I do have I had a list. I made a list, right? So because I think because I'm showing this one here now on the podcast, I'm probably going to upload this one as a reel last. So I thought I'd get this one done last. So that's basically the last on the list. So I've got basically his main albums: Operation Doomsday, the first one. I've got quite a good idea of a picture for that one. Take Me to Your Leader, the King Ghidorah album. That can be really, really cool visually with the three-headed dragon, King Ghidorah. Vaudeville Villain as Victor Von Doom. A more dark, sort of like almost edgy teenage kind of vibe, I believe, is what he was going for with Victor Vaughn. So I'll try and fit that into the imagery. Mad Villainy, classic. Mad Villain is a really good sort of, you know, where's the fucking thing? Where the fuck is the fucking thing? Where the fucking, you fucking Mad Villain. The guy in his big green coat with his little trilby hat or whatever. So that'll be a fun one to draw. Food, that's a good album. There's a couple of songs on there I know are like memed, like popular songs. And so I think the reel I make of that will have one of those tracks on it, and I think that might not necessarily go viral, but I think certainly if it's got that song on it, could get a lot more views on Instagram or whatever. Mouse and the Mask, Danger Doom, that's a good one. The mouse wearing the mask, really good imagery from that. Born Like This, that's when he sort of like dropped the MF from his name and became just Doom, but I think people still know him as MF Doom regardless. But certainly a much more sort of like deeper and more mature version of MF Doom, so I'm going to try to work that into the imagery a bit. And then Keys to the Cuffs, his more or less his last album. I'm aware there's others. There was like Neruvian Doom, which I just wasn't really a fan of. That one he mostly produced on anyway. And then there was Czarface meets Metalface, which is cool, but it doesn't feel like an MF Doom album. It feels like MF Doom sort of just featuring on a few tracks with a couple of other artists from Czarface. And so I didn't think I'd put that one in there. And even then I was going to do 7 for like the week that I'm away, so I have one reel to post a day of these drawings. But I was left with 8. So I'll just do 8 because fucking why not? I wasn't going to show this, but I guess I will. These are really, 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 really super rough. I don't know if you can make out a single fucking thing here. I'll try. I'll do my best to sort of like outline what's going on. So these are my rough thumbnails for these drawings. So this one is Operation Doomsday. For some reason, I just had, if you look up like Sonic box art, there's a picture of Sonic that is basically in a circle like this. His face is here, so this is Doom's face, and I'll have him in a hood or something. He's got an arm here, and his thumb and finger and other fingers here pointing. A leg here. So I'll have him in like big baggy jeans and like Timberland boots, and then his other arm coming out underneath here, and in this hand he'll have a machete, because that's in like the Doomsday video, and he mentions it in one of the tracks. Or you know, it's his brother holding a machete or whatever, and then his other leg out here, which is just quite a funny, like cartoony shape and drawing. And then I'll have like MF Doom, Operation Doomsday, and just like explosion lines or something out here. That could be a really fun one, like a very graphic piece. And these are all from here this way are in chronological order of release. So then here you've got the King Ghidorah album, Take Me to Your Leader. There'll be 3 dragons here, dragon here, and a dragon here, their horns. And then I'm thinking Doom here with his hands up pointing outwards like that, and then radiating like radio signals that I'll put sort of in front of and in between. And I don't want it to be centered, so I think like I'll have it like this, so the center is here and these are just off center, and that could be quite good. And then these will all be pink, and then maybe like black going up into the pink from behind, and then have the radio waves be black/white where they need to be, with Doom's mask here. Victor Vaughn, I think like a ray of light here with graffiti saying Victor, and then some other graffiti underneath, and then Victor, Doom mask, hooded. This will be largely black and white. I might do pink in the the beam of light, and then his hands here, I think maybe one holding a spray can and then one showing off like the rings, the rings with a word on it, those sorts of things, maybe saying Vic or Vaughan or something, because there's a line in one of the songs that say he writes Vic in a sick demented hand style and go bombing with a chick who whipped the rented van while. So I'm trying to go with that, like dark graffiti, teenage, edgy kind of vibe. This one, the thumbnail is really unclear, but basically mad villain, mad villainy. Foot here coming towards the camera, the other one going away here, with him bursting through a wall, I think. His arms with fists, and then like a big hole behind him as he bursts out of it, and like bricks flying towards the camera and stuff. The camera, the viewer, whatever. I got them wrong. I did the drawings in the wrong places. These two need to be switched around. So food. MF Doom here in like a McDonald's hat and an apron, with his hand holding a burger flipper. His arm here, and then like a burger box and a takeaway bag, and it will say food on the bag and some shit on the box. Probably say like hoe cakes or something, like the name of one of the tracks from the album. I know, some shit in the background. That'd be quite cool. It's a little bit obvious maybe, but just a cool, that would make quite a cool drawing. And then the Danger Doom album, I'm thinking the mouse with the mask here, but like giant and towering over a city. So these are buildings, and he's got his arms up and his hands on the buildings, like he's leaning over the buildings, windows in the buildings, and then people in front screaming and running away, going, "Oh my god, we're gonna die, no, oh." And maybe laser beams coming out of his eyes, and like some smoke in the background or something. Like that'd be quite a wild kind of detailed piece. And I might, I don't know, have him flipped over facing the other way. I'm not sure, but these will all need a little bit of work. We'll sort of see how it goes. Now the Born Like This one, I'm not too sure. I was going to have like pyramids in the background or something, maybe in a night sky and a moon, and then like a backlit MF Doom. So he's mostly in shadow on the front. I don't know, something like that. I'm still quite unsure about this one. It will need some more thought, but I mean, now I've done this one, so this is the last one where I wasn't too happy with this one, but you can see flat cap, Doom mask, cup of tea and a saucer, hello governor, pretty much all there. So that's the last one I'll post. So now I've done this one, I'll go back here, and while I'm working on these, each one, you know, I'll be coming up with the imagery for these ones as I go. So that should be all good and all fine and just dandy. I'll get those all done, and obviously for the reels for each one, I'll put like one of the main tracks from each album over the reel. So that will be like Operation Doomsday, etc. You fucking get it. But I've wanted to do some kind of, I've said before again and again and again how I want to do like a series based on each of his albums. This isn't necessarily the perfect kind of artwork I want to create based on those albums, but for what it is and for what I need practice and I need reels to post. I don't need reels, but I need content to post while I'm away. And I think this works out nicely for that, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's not terrible. I quite like it. Yeah. Fucking... It's MF Doom. What's not to like?